been gone. At night I hear the blood in my
What's up? What's up, y'all? What's going on?
What's up, y'all? It's the Ben and Jay show.
Ben and Jay show, a little Springsteen on, a little Bruce.
Springsteen,
Streets of
guitar.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Wait, I thought we were getting Rocky. Where's the Rocky tune, Ben?
Oh man, Ben didn't tell you we switched it up. Now we got to do Rocky. Definitely got to do Rocky.
Okay, we'll do Rocky. I promise you. I did promise you.
Yeah, was this the Philadelphia special? You changed the plan? Because I'm a Giants guy? Is that what it is?
I know you guys have 2 rings. It's okay. I forgive you guys.
Hold up, Chuck. I don't disappoint.
Actually, 3.
It is, Ben.
There we go. A little bit of Rocky. A little bit of flavor on this semi-soggy Friday day. I don't know. Mother Nature needs to make up her mind on what it's going to be, sunshine and humidity or rain and humidity. Either way, just make up your mind. What's up, everybody? This is the Ben and Jay show. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. We're going to chop it up. We got you here for at least an hour. We have a guest that we can't pack his life in an hour, but we're going to try to do it as much as possible. But as always, before we get started, we got to pay these bills by saying this webinar is made possible by Access Services. Access Services is a nonprofit serving 11 counties in Eastern Pennsylvania with the mission to create better ways to serve people with special needs. They've been doing it for 44 years and are only expanding their services as they bend to fit the needs of those in Eastern Pennsylvania. So definitely got that important information out the way. We got some more important information. Ben, what's up with the raffle today? What are we giving our listeners?
We have a special prize pack, Jamel.
Prize pack?
We got Johnson's Popcorn from Ocean City, New Jersey. We got, hold on. Bring all your friends in tonight because we got a hat and a shirt and another shirt and another shirt and
what?
You ready for this?
What's
a
up?
Gift certificate for saltwater taffy.
Oh, who doesn't like a good saltwater taffy, especially going down to the beach? Wow, that's an amazing pack right there. So we're giving that away, Ben?
Yes.
Okay, y'all heard it. Ben's feeling a little frisky on this Friday. He wants to give away this huge pack. And you get the bag too. Look at that. Wow. So stay tuned for everybody.
More, Jamal. There's another prize.
There's more? Oh, Ben, you're feeling real generous today.
All right, so let me put this away real quick. Hold on.
So much stuff.
I hope my dad wins so I can. No, I'm just kidding. There you go.
Ben, is that part of the deal plan, Ben? Is that part of the
I know.
The popcorn?
Yeah, it comes with everything. So I think I'll give away these 2 shirts tonight. We can make these the 2 prizes. So we'll have shout out to 2 fans in Montgomeryville. So we're giving away a Bryce Harper shirt.
Nice.
And then we have another shirt from 2 fans that we can give away as well. This is actually really cool. It's the Broad Street Billiards. I never heard of this one.
The Broad Street, what is it? Hold up. The Broad Street Bullies. Yeah, Broad Street Bullies. Good shirt right there. So
that would be a double prize for the second prize.
Exactly. So, Ben, you're just feeling a little frisky today, giving all this good merchandise out, and that's what's up. You know, when you attend these webinars, you actually get prizes for attending. So everybody who registered for the webinar has the opportunity to win this. At the end of the show, we will pick a winner, and we will contact you via email on how we can ship that prize out to you. So next on, people want to know about you, Ben. So tell us, introduce yourself. What's going on with you?
So my name is Ben Hartranft. I am a 22-year-old awesome. I'm on the autism spectrum. I was diagnosed when I was 2. Doctors thought I had a hearing issue, so my mom and dad thought I had it, so I had a hearing issue. So then when I was about 2, child should only know 200 words, but I only knew 20. Speech therapist Paul Barson taught me how to talk, and now today I just talk and talk, and there's no off button on me. I've been on the Ellen Show. I carried the trophy for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm a big advocate for the autism community. And I wanted to start this show because I didn't want anybody to feel alone in this world. So that's why we really need this show today to help people. And my next dream goal is to get on many TV shows like James Corden, Jimmy Fallon, Kelly Clarkson, Good Morning America, to talk about autism.
There you go. There you go. I couldn't said it more perfectly than you, Ben. And we're going to make sure that happens. We're going to catapult you on those shows. But my name is Jamil. People call me Jay. People call me Mill, whatever the case may be. I am one half of this conglomerate. I am the co-host. Ben is the host here of the Ben and Jay Show.
I'm the brains and he's the muscle.
Ben's both. He's being modest today, but anyway, I'm an awesome father who started the Awesome Show. And the reason why I started this show was to help fathers basically deal with their emotions, their questions, their thoughts, their opinions when it comes down to the diagnosis of their kids on the spectrum. When I first found out that my son Shane was diagnosed with autism, I felt as though I was alone, like no one could understand me. Unfortunately, even my wife at that time, who tried her best to actually reach out to me, couldn't reach out to me because I was dealing with so many things such as ego and pride, and I didn't have a way to actually minimize those feelings and really pour out my heart more. So growth throughout the years allowed me to actually come up with the idea and the passion to speak to fathers directly by giving them a platform, but also too by hearing my story, being transparent with it, and allowing people to basically see what it's like when you go through the fire and end up in the light. And that's basically where I'm in that right now. We came together, me and Ben, was because I invited his dad and also him on the show, thanks to my wife now, who was at that time just a friend, and she wanted to make sure that my show was successful. Well, it was very successful, and it continues to be successful thanks to Ben and his father, Glenn. Shout out to Glenn Hartgraff. I appreciate you still. So we decided to come together during COVID-19 and continue to love on those in the autism community, but also stand up, speak up, and do something about it. And this is what we're doing with this show. So we definitely appreciate everybody being here today. And I just want to go a little bit into who we have here as a guest. Like I said, we only have about an hour. So to really minimize his life in an hour is a discredit. And I apologize about that. So with COVID-19 taking over everything that we consider normal and routine, we are looking at some traditions that are opening up since the pandemic first started. And one of them happened to be sports. So in good nature, and also to give our community and listeners a different perspective, Ben and I wanted to bring on a guest with a different background, not what you're used to as far as being an awesome parent or an individual on the spectrum. But with respect to his amazing background in sports and all-time record achievements, we welcome Mr. Chuck Mound. Now, before we give him a round of applause, I want you to understand the greatness that has been blessed upon us. First, Mr. Mound is famous for running a world-class 4.21 40-yard dash time in 1992. I'm going to explain to you how fast that is. It's faster than me. That's all you need to know. I can't run that. I couldn't run that. No way. No way. He ran that. This man right here. And in fact, on his 35th birthday, Michael Strahan bet he could not run a 450 40-yard dash and went out and ran 431 on 4 watches.
That's a crazy day.
Wait, 35th birthday. I'm 38 and still can't do that. All right, listen. Since he was little, Mr. Mound was always asked the question, how did you get so fast? Since that time, he has developed his own nationally recognized training system called the Mound System that has helped thousands of athletes on all levels of competition for 30 years. He was one of the pioneers in the speed training industry to bring his training methods to the world. He's worked with numerous NFL, NBA, NCAA, MLB Championship Teams, Heisman Trophy winners, U.S. Olympic teams, and he is highly regarded in the industry as one of the best in the business, and I can definitely see why. So you've created over 100 events, including the Elite College Combine, 30th Annual Big Time Awards in Times Square, New York City. That is very big. I've heard of that. And the Football Challenge, 25 years strong. Mr. Mound has written numerous books on speed training, performance, sports, and entertainment. Mr. Mound is currently a speed consultant and lives close in New Jersey with his wife, Melissa, daughter, Jessica, son, Justin, and 4 dogs? How do you do that? How do you do that, Mr.
That's my
Mound?
wife.
You know what?
She
Without
can't
further
stand
ado,
next door without bringing home a new dog.
without further ado,
That's for
ladies
sure.
and gentlemen, Mr. Chuck Mound, welcome to the to the Ben and Jay Show, and also an awesome part of our family for now. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. 38 and running like Usain Bolt. I mean, try to explain that to me. I don't think we have enough time, like I said.
I don't know. That was my gift from God, I guess. I don't know. I always got the joke all the time. Who's this white guy running a 4.21? That was always, everyone bust my chops all over the years. So, and I just use those gifts as my platform to coach and to teach and to use that to help others.
That's dope, man. That's definitely a positive perspective to have. Well,
And
thank you for having me here. We're going to jump right.
Ben is the muscle in this. The guy's like 6'4". He was towering
I know.
over.
You're
like
picture
6'4".
of me.
Hey, man, how are you?
Like, that's exactly how I was in the picture. I was just looking up, like, okay, like this is embarrassing, but Ben is a force to be reckoned with. He is
like
definitely
Ben, number 1 jersey. We got to get you a lineman jersey. You should be like 75, like an offensive tackle.
There you go.
Oh my god.
There you go. Mr. Mound speaks.
Number 1, as a wide receiver, we're gonna have to put you on the speed training program if you want to wear number 1.
Okay.
Ooh, there you go. That sounds like a challenge to me. I don't know. We might have to get some footage of that.
I might have to do a challenge with one of you guys with the Giants. Ooh.
Ooh. They got comebacks. Check that out. Ben, you got question number 1, buddy. Go ahead and ask Mr. Mound away.
Chuck, thank you for being on the show today. First question, and I need to ask you, what about them Eagles?
What about them Eagles? Wait, are they still Super Bowl? Are they defending champs? Or has it been 2 years now?
Oh my God! We need to cut his microphone already.
Nice. 2 years ago? Is that what's going on?
Listen, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say this. There was only one way that the Eagles people were looking for the Eagles before they died, before they had kids. They were looking for this win. The Eagles will win before I-95 is complete. Swear to God, that's my prediction. Before I-95 is complete, and if you are a true Philadelphian, you know that I-95 will never be complete. That is one stretch of highway that will never be complete. So, with that being said, the Eagles are the reigning champions. They're coming back. They're going to be. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not even going to talk about it too much.
You go back to that year, though, that was a magical year, and you had the right formula, the right players together, and they were the underdogs. And when you get that type of mindset and that mentality of people have something to prove, you can go out and do great things, no matter who you are. And that definitely, that team was destined to win that, and I'm actually happy to see that.
Definitely. I like what you said, that mindset and that mentality. I think a lot of times, people who aren't on the spectrum, have that mentality. But what about those on the spectrum? Can we totally erase them from saying, hey, they don't have that genetic makeup to have that mentality? I would like to challenge that, because I do believe that individuals on the spectrum hold that passion, that fire in them. Just look at Ben and what he does. His passion, his fire might be different than what a lot of people may look at it as, but it's still the same. It's still groundwork. It's still him going out there and meeting new people like he met you, and really just talking and saying, hey, you know what? We like to have you. We want you on our show. This is what I'm about. This is who I am. So it's very encouraging to hear that breakdown,
Well, it
because
was
a lot
great
of people just
with Ben is at Six Flags that day. Once we met, I met up with my son, and he goes, "I remember you. You were getting everybody fired up on the roller coaster." And that goes to show you, like, Ben was memorable. People remember Ben. You know, he didn't get a chance to meet Ben. I did. But Ben's energy was contagious. So it's no matter what, just like anything else, if success breeds success. You put the right mixture together, you're going to have success. People build off of that. So if you're on the spectrum, you surround yourself with the right people, you get the right ingredients, you're going to get the results that you want. And you don't know where it's going to go or who's going to inspire you to do the next thing. So Ben is very inspirational. His energy is unbelievable. I said, where do you get all this energy? And he goes, they call me Benergy. I'm like, it's 100 degrees out. It's at the end of the day. He must have did, the largest park in the nation, Six Flags, Great Adventure, acres, and Ben is still fired up. And
I drove by myself that day.
Yes, he drove by himself. That was unbelievable. He is just a magnet. Ben's a magnet.
He is.
I drove there twice. I went back again.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I think Ben's I think, and I'm speaking in reference to everyone that's on the spectrum, from those who I've met personally, and I've met a lot of individuals on the spectrum. They exude a warmness, a longing for us to try to get to know who this amazing person is with this aura around them. I guess you could say, per se. What he speaks from is just enjoying the littlest and natural things about life. And really, when you come to meet different individuals that are on the spectrum, you're going to come to see that every one of them are just the simplest people to make happy. And it dawns on me day in and day out, when I get mad about things that I can't control, how happy individuals such as Ben, my son, are with just sitting on a couch and being around loved ones. When we complain that, oh, you're smothering me, or we can't catch a break and I need some alone time. You see, like it's a reality check that I have to put myself in on a consistent basis. And thank God that I have been around to actually do that. So, once again, just speaking on how contagious Ben is, that's pretty much everybody that's on the spectrum. There's not one person that you do not fall in love with. So I'm glad. I'm very, very happy and glad that you guys got a chance to meet and that you experienced this energy from Ben like I did, because he brings it every single day. Every single time we talk, he brings it.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, you're great in that capacity, and you got a gift. You got a gift, my brother. You can reach so many other people and continue to do that. And especially this day and age where the world is pretty crazy, the world that day was just awesome. With you around and your energy, you forget the troubles of the world. And it was a great time out, to use analogy from the games. You need those timeouts in life, just to take a break from life and just enjoy what you have, like you said. And
Thank you.
You have that gift. You have that gift, buddy. You keep doing what you're doing, man. I really
appreciate it. It's just and I'm kind of like an eagle, because we're soaring like eagles. We're soaring in the sky. Sky's the limit.
There you go.
Dolly Parton.
Good old Dolly Parton. Hey, Ben, you got question number 2. Go ahead, buddy.
Love Dolly Parton. Great country singer. All right. During your,
We got to tell her. We got to bring Ben to Dollywood.
oh my word, Dollywood is like, I've almost met, real quick before we get to the next question, I've almost met, I was at a VIP opening of Wild Eagle at Dollywood, and I never told anybody this story, but I almost got to meet Dolly Parton, and I was this close of meeting her. And I said, I want to ride the roller coaster with the senior vice president of ride design. And I went up to him and I said, Anthony, you promised me, shout out to Anthony Esparza to this day, you promised me that we would go on Wild Eagle together. All right, come on. So we got on the ride and we rode together.
That's awesome.
That makes it happen.
We got to get out to Dolly Parton.
Oh my gosh.
Get out to her, Ben.
That would be great. That would be great. All right.
There you go.
During your 30 years of working with athletes, is there a specific approach that you take to regarding each person's ability?
Well, it's up to me to kind of, everybody has potential. I got to bring it out of them. So it may help them realize their potential. So you got to continue to feed off their abilities and bring them out in different capacities in different ways. So it's equally as much mental as it is physical. So the different people that I work with, everybody's different, totally different. It's almost like a race car, especially where I'm at in my career right now after 30 years of doing this. I'm the guy that could open the hood and make the fine-tune adjustments to the machine to make it run a little bit better. So especially when you're dealing with professional athletes, you really have to fine-tune the machine to give them a little bit extra. And that really, I draw upon all the years of experience in trying different things and doing different things. So that's something as a coach, coach is no different than a teacher. It's one and the same. You have to be able to get these things out of each person, and everybody has a gift, just like you, Ben, you have a gift, and you got to keep that growing and going. So I think that's really important. So everybody has those different things. So I just try and build upon that, and actually, turn some weaknesses into strengths to lead them down.
They haven't. I like that.
So I think that's really important. So, sports, it's not always, it's the process. I believe in the process. So it's not about, I'm a little old school. So the process in my day was, hey, it takes a long time to get from point A to point B. It's not just, hey, I want to be a football player. You got to put all that work in between from A to B.
Yeah.
A lot of times these days is everybody just wants to get to B and take the selfie on the 50-yard line and say, hey, I'm a football player. We can go back to the Eagles. How long did it take for them to win a Super Bowl?
52 years.
Oh, you're killing me, Chuck.
No, but it's a long time. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to, continue. You get close one year, and then boom, you got to just keep working on it. So it's just, that's what makes it special. So you got to believe in the process, and things don't happen overnight. And in the end, once you get to that peak, it'll make it all worth it. And then you set new goals and objectives, and you keep working on those. So there's always something in front of you that you want to achieve.
You're definitely correct, and we can unpack this in several ways. The first thing is your observation about the Eagles. Anybody who's a true Eagles fan can contest to it. You need to be consistent. You still have to go after it. There was inconsistencies with the Eagles for years, but finally we got it. And people are still trying to figure out what the formula is. I have my own hypothesis about, what the formula was, but we got it. But what you said, the key components of what you just said is towards anything in life. No one gets better. Teachers don't get better unless they study, unless they sit there and fail a test and they say, oh, well, I'm going to take the test again. They always strive to be the best, whether it becomes in academics or personal growth, being personable and meeting new people. Everything that basically Mr. Mound said is something that you can hold on to in life, especially for our individuals that's on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
You can become anything that you want to be, anything in the world whatever you want to be. Mm-hmm. You have to just follow the same guidelines and principles. Yep. And what that is consistency and never giving up. You don't give up. That's not an option. You push yourself every single day. So, your formula in sports is really basically a formula of life. So I can understand why you've been so successful in your life is because the failures haven't stunned you. It hasn't stopped your growth. You learned from it and you continued on. So
That you bring up a great point that you're going to fail. You'll learn more from your failures than you'll do from success. So
Yeah.
they always say, fail forward, always move forward. So and I always tell my son, I said, I want you to learn how to get knocked down so you can learn how to get back up. That's important. I'd rather, I believe it, I'm kind of crazy in that regard, but I want to see him fail because I want to see him respond to that. Because you're always going to get cut down, but you got to grow back stronger, and that's the only way is that you start to build your armor up is through failures. And everybody's going to, but it's what you do. What's that next step? And everybody goes through those really, really tough times, and you have to ask those questions. But like you said, every day you got to get up and put the gloves on.
Do it again.
Fight. So the gloves come on every single day. And you put them on and you fight and you swing and you keep battling. So no matter who you are, and you mentioned about sports and life, that's what sports are all about, especially at the younger levels. That Lee Roussan, a great giant, but he used to say to me all the time, it's like, don't play for the win, play from the win. And I thought that always resonated because you learn, mention about the discipline of, getting up to practice. There's going to be days you're not going to want to practice or go to certain things and do, but those are the days you got to push yourself even harder and to win that mental battle. And that's important.
It's kind of like Brian Dawkins.
Definitely.
Like Brian Dawkins.
It's like, once again,
at what the next. And he just gets motivated and he just gets hype and gets ready to go. And he's out there being psyched.
Well, Ben, that's something you got to want to do, though. That's something I can't give you heart. If I give you my heart, it's going to explode out of your chest. It's like you got to want to do it. I can't beg you to do it, especially some of the things. I can encourage you, but you got to want to do it. I'm not ringing your phone at, especially this time in my career, I'm not ringing your phone at 6 a.m. to say to get up. The guys, especially what's great is that the kids that I work with now, if I say tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., be down the shore and we're gonna train on the beach, they'll be there at 4:45. And that's the other things is that, I'm kind of old school. Is Vince Lombardi rules were always, hey, 15 minutes before you're supposed to start. So I try and instill the little things is that, hey, 5 o'clock means you're late. I can tell you, Coach Coughlin, people used to get fined all the time. If you weren't early, you were late. So, it was just, again, it's one of those discipline things is getting your mind right and get that mindset. And once you get it down, you can achieve a lot of things. And it just takes that one day, one step at a time, one rep at a time, one sprint at a time. You got to take those little steps to get to where you want to be. So it's a process, but got to get that mind right.
It is definitely. Before I go into the next question, that brings me up to a little tidbit that I always tell myself recently, let's just say 3 years now. If you're early, you're on time. And if you're on time, you're late. And I swear to God, I follow that premise when it comes to everything in my life. Well, I try to, but I follow that premise when it comes to everything in my life. And just like you said, you had a great quote that basically tells you need to be early on everything. There's not one thing that you need to be just on time for. And when you're on time, you have to endure the consequences. So the life lessons that are being taught in sports is just that, life lessons. Well, we see them as separate though, because we see it as sports and life is life, but really it's just the same magnitude. So it's amazing to hear the feedback from a sports great such as yourself, because in this episode, you're basically going to help individuals, within the community, outside the community, understand some of these life principles. There's people my age, unfortunately, that still don't understand these principles. So hopefully you guys are chewing on this information like I am, as Mr. Mound actually is speaking.
I'm a little old school in my ways, Jamil. I'm a little old school.
Old school.
It's like I feel, you don't want to let anybody else outwork you. You know, that's something that it's every day is a competition against yourself, you know, and you can't, it's you versus you, and how far can you push yourself?
Exactly.
So, and crazy enough, just a little side thing, like tomorrow, like I turned 50 last year, and you know, I've always been a fast twitch muscle fiber. I've always done sprints. I've always ran, so nothing more than 40 yards or 100 meters in track that I would run. Those would be the top. So I started actually doing triathlons last year, and I'm not a swimmer, and it was brutal. And my goal before 50 was to do one triathlon, and I wound up doing 5 last year. And then last year, August 1st, so tomorrow will be 365 days where I've done some type of exercise. So like I run 3 miles a day, worked up to that, but I haven't missed a day of training in 365 days. So I was like 210 pounds. Now I'm down to 179. So I'm kind of in fighting weight there, Ben. So I'm ready to sprint you, Ben. So we can run around.
I need to actually, speaking of that, you know, when we talk about early, I wanted to piggyback what you and Jamel said about Vince Lombardi. Early is good, on time is great, weight is unacceptable. I'm so thankful for my brother. You know, Dan is a great example of that, because he taught me, and sometimes we get frustrated with him, and sometimes we go different routes, but you know, we figured it out together. Like, for example, if I wanted to work out in the morning and I'm late, and he goes, "What time is it, Ben?" I go, "Dan, I want to work out." And he goes, "The consequence is you have to work out later." So it's just hard to understand, like, sometimes you can't always get what you want, but you have to be there on a certain time to do what you want to do.
Definitely.
Well, you better not miss a day, Ben, because we're running next time at Six Flags. You called me out.
Oh man, I gotta be there to take that.
We're gonna race.
I'm
very happy for
El Toro right from the start.
Actually, I would love to run sometime. Dan needs to whip me in shape, so that's good. Shout out to Dan. Dan's my bro. Love Dan.
Here you go.
Great brother.
You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. It is a challenge, and I will be there to record each of them as I sit on the sideline, because I know I'm not fast. I'm not pretending anything.
I think maybe we should have like an Autism Speaks Day at Six Flags. Maybe how's that for an idea?
Ooh. We should have like an Eagles Autism Day or something. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. We have to chew on some ideas.
You don't have to do the Eagles.
He's coming at listen. We fly high over here.
Giants Autism. You guys bring South Jersey. I'll bring North Jersey. How's that? We meet at Six Flags.
We might have to do that. We might have to do that. I know a couple of hard hitters down in South Jersey, so we might have to do that.
We'll bring the South Jersey.
Actually,
I'll speak.
Speaking of which, have you ever heard of a roller coaster 5K?
5K.
So no, it's like so you go to every roller coaster and you ride it, and then you just walk to it. It's kind of like a 5K, but instead of walking to it, we can run to the coaster and ride it.
Wow. I never heard of that. You know, I don't do roller coasters then, so that's between you and Chuck. Y'all two can
my son.
With that, but me, no. So Chuck, I got a question. How do you discover each person's ability?
You put them in challenging situations and see how they react. So you challenge them. You know, I actually, especially what I do, I can fine tune again is just look at somebody and be able to assess their ability to run and be able to fine tune to get them faster. Hey, your toe is pointed out this way, your hands are this way, your elbows this way. So I kind of fine tune their mechanics in order to get them to run a little bit faster. So that's one of the things, you know, especially over the years of doing it for a long time, you get reps at seeing people and be able to adjust. So teaching them what to do, how to do it, and why they do it. So again, the teaching process is really important. So in terms of what I do is I highly coach every person that I come across so that they're able to take the material, and it's always new. So anybody that comes into my class or that I'm coaching, they don't show up and say, oh, what are we doing today? It's more like, how are you going to challenge me? So again, going back to that mindset is that they have no idea what I'm going to throw at them, but they know they're going to be challenged. So, and it doesn't always come back. You know, a lot of guys, some guys throw up, and it's not about making somebody throw up, but it's pushing them to that next level. It's like, wow, I can push myself that much harder or that much farther. So it's raising the bar every time that I meet with them, is raising that bar a little bit further so they can kind of step up that ladder so that they know that they're capable of a lot more. So I think that's a big part of that.
That is definitely, that's wow. We need that. Once again, we just need that. We need that push. We need that, that bar raised every single time. That we wake up in the morning. How can we do this upon ourselves? And most importantly, how can we raise the bar for our individuals on the autism spectrum? One day they're learning how to communicate, whether it be writing, whether it be sign language. It could be so many different methods. Okay, that's great. We're going to keep working on that. But now I want you to work on reading maybe 12 pages instead of reading 10. It's always pushing the limits for our children just to better themselves, because, as us parents of those individuals on the spectrum, time is very limited. And we have to make sure that our children are set up properly for this world when our time comes and it's time for us to not be here anymore. So I think that's really a mentality that us parents need to home in on, especially more so now in our latter years, such as myself. I'm almost 40. So it's really now building the fundamentals within my son Shane so he can actually be a productive adult in the future on his own, self-sustaining, and be able to be successful, whatever success may look like in his eyes, whatever his heart sets out to do. That's what I want him to do. So real good point.
And
of course,
has to be difficult, right, nowadays, because schools aren't open, and the parents, it has to be 10 times as hard to be able to get that schedule and get that routine, because everybody's a little bit different in terms of how they respond. So just, obviously it goes without saying, physical activity is very, very important in that. So even if it's walking a block or, walking a street, whatever, to get just out there, get that stimulus going and getting your body needs that release. So being in front of a computer all day is not going to be the best formula, for that. So I'm sure parents of kids on the spectrum, this has to be one most difficult time, because you need that, they need other people in their lives. They need other teachers. They need other coaches. And again, that's goes back to what we talk about, success breeds success. So you need all these people in your lives in order to kind of move forward. And so I know it's been challenging. So just, everybody, it's a game of inches, right? Football's a game of inches. Life is the same thing. Every day, fight for that inch. Move a little bit forward every day. Keep fighting for those inches, because before you know it, you look up, wow, I went a yard. Those inches add up to that yard. Keep going. So I just, want to encourage the parents out there. It's been really difficult, and hey, take a time out, go to a Six Flags, go someplace and enjoy yourself and have that time out. I think that's really important as well. And if you're blessed enough to see Ben at the park like I was, hey Ben, you know what? Hey Ben, you made my day.
No, you made my day.
Hey, look at that.
That was ironic to me, because he goes, Coach, you made my day. I said, Ben, are you kidding me? I said, you made my day. So we were just going back and forth every time with that, because, again, I was just in awe of him and how amazing in his energy and how he walked around the park. He's like a rock star. Everybody knows Ben. It didn't matter. He was going up to everybody and anybody, and everybody's walking away with a smile on their face.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Chuck, I always tell everybody, that when they sit there and be like, oh, you host your own show? And I'm like, yes, I do. But the Ben and Jay show is Ben's show. I'm the co-host. I back him up because he's the man. He's the one that's putting this together. And, when they do meet him, they're like, wow, like he's just a magnet for, just good vibes, just everything good about, humanity and society. This is what it's been. The Ben is that. So I'm glad once again that you had an opportunity to actually experience that. And to speak more about what you're saying with the parents, I want parents to really understand that this time right now can be reflected of two ways, both positive and negative. Yes, it's negative. We have financial crisis in the world, basically. We have, COVID-19. We have a pandemic that we're still living through. But the positives behind this is really building that bond between you and your child, whether they're on the spectrum or not. Really getting to know your child, really getting to know yourself. Because I know normally as parents, we have a tendency of just going to work, home, doing our parent duties, and just being in the rat race. So I've always been encouraging people since this pandemic started. What do you need to fix? Work on your credit. Maybe go back to school, take some online classes, get your health in order. Most importantly, for those individuals who are astray from their kids, mend that bond. Learn a little bit more about your child on the spectrum. What can be added to their diet as far as vitamins, supplements. So many different things that you can actually do that are positive. So really, when you pointed that out, once again, I'm just reaffirming what Chuck said is that, parents, mental health is a really big issue. Take that moment for yourself, relax, listen to some music, maybe, separate yourself, go in the yard, listen to nature, take a walk is very, very important. But also know, just like Chuck said, this is a game of inches. Life is a game of inches. We got to get to that. We got to get to that goal. We got to get that touchdown. And you're not going to do that by sitting there and just giving up. You have a child there that's looking at you, that's just needs a little bit more attention, a little bit more of you. So give it all you got. At the end of the day, that's going to be, that child is your resume. That's your life resume. So
learning a little bit more about Ben, learning with Ben and his story, it amazes me that he was nonverbal until he came across a therapist, right? Is that correct, Ben?
Yeah.
And now look at you. So again, is talking about like you have these coaches, no matter what, that bring it out of you. And that man's amazing,
exactly.
to think that Ben could potentially be nonverbal is just, it blows my mind. No, that's not the case. His energy now what you're doing, Ben, is making a huge difference in the community there. So
Exactly.
that's an inspiration, just that alone.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
if someone's on the spectrum is nonverbal right now, look to Ben's story and see how you inspire everybody, Ben. That's tremendous. And I know it was a lot of work on your part as well. You had to put that time in order to get to that next level, as we talk about.
Yeah.
So that's tremendous.
It's kind of like a video game, because I say this all the time. It's kind of like Donkey Kong. You're trying to get up to the next stairs or the level, but then you get hit by the player.
That's an 80s video game. That's my era. What do you know about that, Ben?
I play video games. I love N64. I love the Wii and the Switch. Big Animal Crossing guy. Yeah.
Ben loved the classics. He knows the classics.
And NES, Super Nintendo, man. If you play Madden on there, oh, that was the best.
Let me guess. You played with
Chuck,
the
Oh, here we go. Another stab at the Eagles.
Actually,
I don't know.
I do have a quick funny story about Madden real quick, and then we'll get back to topic. So I played the Madden GameCube version, and I was the other team, and I used to go run the other way to score safety, so the Eagles would win.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, Ben is he's a real fan. Ben is a true diehard fan right there. Because I don't know anybody that would do that in Madden. I don't know anybody. That's crazy, Brent. That's crazy. That's Hey Chuck.
My brother would be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm being the other team so I can win."
People want to know, Chuck, have you ever worked with anyone, physical training with anybody that's been on the spectrum?
I do work with the Special Olympics, So if that counts, I'm not as sure as, different kids on the spectrum with that, but the Special Olympics, I've definitely, worked with kids. And again,
Okay.
it's a tremendous experience and opportunity to be a part of that. A lot of great teachers and coaches do a great job. Even the students, who help organize these events at different high schools. I know at Mount Olive, they do a great job. They bring, in Northern Jersey, they bring schools from all over the place, and they have different meets throughout the year. So
Okay.
I've been blessed to be a part of that, and it's been a great opportunity.
That definitely is a blessing to be able to be part of a giving organization such as the Special Olympics. So that's definitely dope. A good thing that anybody will be involved with, that could volunteer. So definitely kudos to you. Hats off. Ben, you got question 6, buddy. 6 and 7.
Okay. Do you want me to? I could do 5 and 6 and 7. Okay. I could try 6. I got this, Jamel. I got this. All right. What are some previous imitations on physical abilities for people with autism on your perspective? I got it.
See, don't give up. Get them inches. Get them inches, Ben.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Face of the Giants. It's kind of like, you got this. He's on the back. He's like doing the death crawl. You got it. You're at the 50-yard line. Come on. 100 more. You can. And then he goes like, yeah, runs out of breath.
Go ahead, Chuck. You can answer that question.
All right, I need it one more time though.
Okay, I'll read it again.
Go ahead, Ben.
Jamal, you can read it.
You sure? Okay, so Ben was just basically asking, what are some perceived limitations on physical ability for people with autism in your perspective?
Everybody, I guess, on the spectrum is everybody's going to react to different things differently. So it depends on the stimulus that's provided. Again, somebody might take it in a positive way, another person might take it in a negative way. So you have to kind of see, you throw different things out there and kind of see what works. So, as far as, it's like Ben calling audibles before, I was kidding you about audibles, but you have to be able to change your game plan at any given time. So you have all these I have all these tools at my disposal. They're in my toolbox. As a coach, I have to take out the best tools in order to help somebody execute what they want to achieve. So, so the better I'm at my toolbox as a coach, the more potential I'm going to bring to whoever I'm working with. So I think, you have to keep your tools in your toolbox very sharp, and you have to be very adaptable, because every situation changes all the time. You don't know when you're going to need that Philly special play in your playbook, right?
Yeah.
There you go. That's
back in the playbook. Like Doug Peters.
There you go. There you go.
50, but that's, I think that's important, no matter who you're working with, on the spectrum, off the spectrum. I think that's important. So understanding, everybody ticks a little bit differently. So finding out what makes them tick, that also helps, So obviously, Ben, do you mention anything Eagles? He's going to be highly motivated.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Soar like an eagle, Ben. Soar like an eagle.
Yep. Sky's the limit.
There you go. Hey, Ben, go ahead with question 7, buddy. You got that one.
It's kind of like the song, I believe I can fly. I believe I could touch the sky.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, all right. Time to focus now. Okay. What would you say to someone with autism who wants to be an athlete?
What would I say?
Yeah.
I would say, just like you mentioned before, Jamil, the sky's the limit. Is if they want to be an athlete, you got to work at it and kind of set up a plan for them to kind of achieve what they want to achieve. So you don't have to be all state, all county. Every day is a challenge. So again, it's meeting those little challenges to get to those bigger milestones that you want to achieve. So if that's something they want, if it's in their heart and that's what they want to do, go for it.
Definitely. Very good advice. Definitely very good advice. We're going to go ahead and skip down to question 10, because I think Ben really wants to ask you this question. It's very, very powerful. Go ahead, Ben, because I know you've been wanting to ask this question for a while now.
What was one of your worst fears growing up? Now that you have been very successful in goals, you have set out to do what you say to those on the spectrum that have fear about doing anything in sports?
Oh, that's a great question, Ben.
Yes.
That's a great question. Yeah, fear is something that you have to overcome. I don't know if ADHD is on the spectrum, but I suffer from that. That's something
Oh
that
wow.
every day, yeah, I'm very high. I'm all over the place as far as. So Ben
Wow.
mentioned, being able to focus. My mind never stops. So it's for me in my world, it's like I get up and there's 100 TVs that are on, and I got to decide which TV that, okay, I'm going to try and hone in and focus on this. So it's just something that I got, and again, it's like if I don't have that physical release as far as exercise every day, that plays a part into that. So again, being able to have that discipline and be able to do a routine, that's important for me. So, sports was always that outlet to be able to have that release. So, that becomes difficult. I don't think, medication is the key and any of that. You have to learn to deal with it. Like I said, I'm old school, is that, we didn't have half of these things back in the day. You just learn to adapt and to overcome. So I think that is huge in this. So, yeah, everybody has fears. Everybody, you're going to have those dark days. I've had them. We've all had them.
Yes.
And you got to learn, again, is that as you continue to build yourself up, that armor becomes very strong.
Yes.
And once that armor's strong, you're going to have more confidence in what you're doing. So again, it's just going back to those little things will add up to the big things.
Absolutely.
So don't be afraid to fail. Failure is great as long as you keep moving forward with it. But you have to learn from that. So everything, no matter what, whether it's in life, you got to learn from it and move forward. What can I do better? Maybe I can take a better approach to this. Okay, what are the things I have to do? And again, surround yourself with great people. I'm blessed to have 2 new friends here. 3, who's not on the screen right now, who's producing the show.
Right.
He's amazing as well. So, every time you want to learn something, and like you mentioned, from Ben, I mean, you can grow and learn from Ben just hanging around them, just that, just to learn to get back to the peace and just the basic in life rather than the go, go, go all the time, so I think that's
I
important.
just wanted to piggyback what you said real quick about failure and life. Sometimes dreams don't even come true. I had a dream that didn't come true. My school put on a play called 1776, the musical. I auditioned, and however, I didn't get the part, but you can't always get what you want. But I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get in. And, I handled it very well, but I was very sad.
There you go. But you look, you didn't get the part there, but look what part you're playing right now. A real life part that's bigger than
Exactly. I like
anything
that.
in life. So
Yeah,
see, that's something, Ben. We talk about that consistently, man. You are definitely, doing your calling, man. You're definitely persevering over everything. And Chuck, I have to say thank you for being transparent. Just by you saying, "Hey, I suffer from ADHD," nobody would have understood that you, as a guest, with all your accolades and everything that you're doing currently right now, that you suffer from a condition which many of us in the community know about because a lot of our children do have that along
Yes.
with symptoms of being on the spectrum. And it's amazing. You are an inspiration. You are beating the odds. You have taken that inch and made it into a first down, and you continue to move on down the field. So you are a guide to what somebody should actually strive to be. And it really is a blessing for us to be able to capture that on video on our show, to have you here, but also to hear your story and your transparency. So I want to thank you for that. Just bringing that point out and being open with the audience. So it's definitely good.
I don't think I
We
really shared that. My wife knows that because if she gives me a project, she always says, "Oh, why you always leave it half?" Because my brain doesn't function that way. I love to create things. So mention about different events. I was blessed to be able to create events that have not been there before. So
Oh, wow.
when high school athletes, these events were not were not out there at the time, like the Elite College Combine. We created an event that allowed colleges to evaluate high school players right there, and then potentially give them scholarships to play in college. So that's why the hundreds of players that played Division 1A football and went on to play in the NFL just by these events. And there were nonprofit events that we created just to give people opportunities, to get to that next level. So they think, I think that, some of that people got to use that to their advantage, because I think it really, the creative part of your mind, because there's definitely, the right side and the left side with that when it comes to that. But the creativity is really important. And especially this day and age with so much is being thrown at you, you can't even sit down and enjoy a show without 10 different things coming up on the screen. So it makes it even that much harder. Your brain has to hit reset every time you're trying to sit down. So I know it's got to be difficult, this day and age with technology and how much is being thrown at you at one time. So you got to learn how to manage that as well. And be able to have you time. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day. My time to me, I get tired. I'm almost past my bedtime now, but my time is like 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. just to be to understand. That's when I do all my training and exercise, but that's my time for myself. And it's so peaceful, because when I go run, there's nothing out there. It's just you and the world, right? And I enjoy that time in the morning. So it gets my mind right for the day. And actually,
that's actually not a bad idea.
I'm not wired.
That's actually not a bad idea. Chuck, I would love to share this to I'm going to share this to everyone. I'm going to share it to Good Morning America, Jimmy Fallon, and everybody.
Definitely. We want to give the audience a chance to actually ask Chuck some questions. So right now, this is the segment of the show where we unmute all the mics, allow anybody the chance to speak out to Chuck, Ben, or myself with a question. We just ask that you be respectful, allow one person to speak at a time. If you do have background noise, mute your mic until you're ready to speak, and just state your name before you actually speak. So the floor is open. Go ahead, first attendee.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey. Oh my gosh, I had a long day, but.
Well, we're glad that you're semi-ending the day with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I barely made it because it's my sister's birthday today.
Happy birthday to your sister, Lessa.
Yeah, I barely made it home, like just barely in time to watch the show. So thank goodness for that.
Oh, well, we appreciate you. We definitely do appreciate you. You have any questions, comments for Chuck or Ben, myself?
Yeah, Chuck, what inspired you to be the man that you are today?
Ooh, I actually like that.
This is a deep show, Jimmy Jay. You didn't tell me the show was so deep, Ben. This is they're
that was a good question, Alyssa.
That was a good question.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. That's pretty deep. You got to be it's put me on the spot a little bit, but I think I went through a lot of hardships when I was younger. So my dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer when I was very young, and he passed. So seeing what he had to go through with his treatment and then passing away at an early age, I think that was important and inspiration to me in terms of what I wanted to do. But I think the gifts, like I go back, God gave me these gifts. I don't know where all this speed came from, and but it gave me the platform in order to help others. And so I've been using that platform for the past 30 years now to take my gifts and help inspire others. So I think, those different experiences earlier on in my life helped get me mentally there, and then those physical. So it goes back to like the physical, mental, and spiritual. So I've been blessed to have different people. I'm not a very big church person, but I feel like, I pray in my own way. And I have different people like Jerry Palmieri, who's the head strength coach with the Giants. He's every day he sends me something, and it just gives me something to ponder and think about. So it helps me grow on a spiritual level. So I think you definitely have to have that, body, mind, and spirit, I think is all intertwined.
Wow.
Great answer.
Yeah, and I understand how you feel like about your dad because my dog Riley passed away last year, and it kind of bugged me. But now I have my dog Lacey. Hopefully she'll be on the show when I appear on August 28th. So
Whoa, you're
Yep.
gonna be on the show too. All right.
Yep.
yeah, I can't wait.
Yep.
I'm so excited. Mark down your calendars, guys.
Yeah.
I will. I'll
There you go. She put down her whole promotion. That's what I'm talking about. That pinch. That's what we talk about. Make it more. Make it more. That's
Yeah, I'm
what's
gonna
up.
share it with everybody.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Alyssa, thank you for always supporting us, and most importantly, that question. That was a real deep question.
That was a good
I like
question.
No
definitely
problem.
did
I
like
love
that.
you guys.
Oh,
Hey,
we love you too. That's
appreciate it. Can't wait to
Yeah,
have
God
you on
bless
the
you.
show. That's
God
going to be a
bless you.
good show. God bless you too. Thank
Hey,
you.
hey, Chuck, this is Glenn, Ben's dad.
Hey,
Glenn.
Dad.
So can you share with us a little bit about, your insight with the NFL and the COVID thing and whether they're going to be calling to practice at all? Because I know that we start seeing, practicing happening and stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but just curious about, your thoughts and the training and everything else that's going on.
Yeah, it's hard to say where this season's going to go. I mean, I know already yesterday, Governor Murphy for New Jersey said there's going to be no fans for either the Giants and the Jets. So I think the high schools, I'll be surprised if there is a high school season because they keep pushing the dates back. So right now in New Jersey, at least they're saying October 1st with the dates. So the NFL and how they react and the plan that they have in place is going to be real important to whether there even be a season. It's really hard to say. You see how Major League Baseball is dealing with it right now. They had to postpone a lot of the games, and so it's hard to say which direction they're going to go with it.
Yeah.
I wish I had more insight to give you as far as what's going to happen. I think we definitely need sports just for that break in what's going on in the world, and sports provides that outlet for everybody just to take a time out and to be able to just enjoy something, other than the craziness of life. So like everything's been taken from us in that regard. So everything's doubly hard.
And what's your favorite roller coaster at Six Flags?
Oh, you put me on the spot there. I would say El Toro would be my.
Ooh.
Oh, El Toro.
That's what we
Yeah.
wrote. Didn't we wrote El Toro?
That's right, Ben. We rode El Toro.
Yeah. Me and
There
Chuck
you go.
wrote El Toro,
And
Dad.
we have the last car in that. Ben was firing everybody up. Everybody was clapping, screaming, and it was amazing. That's right, Ben.
Wow.
Thank you.
Chuck, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for being on the show. Some of the, the words that you say just resonate with us, not only Ben, but I have two other boys, just to keep pushing. And the failure piece is the hardest piece because we're conditioned to think that if we fail, there's something wrong with us. Well, you have to get up and keep on going. So I really appreciate your perspective on that. Thanks.
No, thank you. Thanks for the question, and hopefully the NFL will have a season this year. And your son is amazing. Ben is amazing.
Amazing.
Blessed to meet him.
Hey, Glenn, thanks, man, for being on here. Just to lighten things up a little bit, I don't even think the Giants had fans to begin with, so I think they'll be cool with COVID-19 playing.
Well, I have to say, Chuck, we have a cousin who is in Allentown, who grew up in New York, who is a huge Giants fan. And I invited him. I don't know if he's on the show, listening to the show, but I invited him to come on the show. And we go tit for tat, especially at Christmas time. I'll give him an Eagles thing. He'll give me a Giants thing,
Wow.
So, yeah.
What's crazy is that you guys hit me with the Giants stuff, but I'm actually a fan. I love the underdog, and I love players that actually, take may be a negative in their career and turn it into a positive and end up in a certain thing. So actually that year I was actually cheering for the Eagles because it's been so long they haven't reached that peak. And
all right, Chuck is
those
back
two,
with my good.
I love the underdog. No matter who it is, I cheer for the underdog. Whether it's a team, a player, I rally around that. And so I believe in that because there's a story behind that. Because there's always a process that goes into that. So that person just didn't show up. Kurt Warner was stocking shelves when he got the call, and he became VP of the Super Bowl. Like, that story and his process is amazing because that can inspire others to say, wow, look at that, and if you can do that and take some things and help others, that's what all this is about. Because everybody, you connect with different people. Everybody communicates. Not everybody's connecting right now because everybody's on these phones. What we're right now, we're connecting now.
Mm-hmm.
We have different stories. Everybody has a story to tell, and that helps others. So it's not always, like I said, don't be engaged in your phone. Connect with everybody.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, it was definitely good. I think that's it for the questions. Anybody else have a question for Chuck?
I'll ask a question. This is Kaylee.
Hey, Kaylee.
Can you hear me? So I ran track and field for 4 years in high school, and it was such a rewarding opportunity. The whole team aspect is a little different, than football or like soccer or basketball. But something that I noticed and appreciated about playing sports doing track was that everyone's so different. Like, everyone has different personalities, different characteristics. But my question for you, Chuck, is what are some key ingredients that need to be had among each athlete? Just in general, to be a successful athlete, what are some key things that they need to be made up of in order to be successful?
I think your character is important. You have to have integrity. These words get thrown around a lot, but you have to apply them, and that happens over time. So your character, again, going back to the people that you surround yourself with, success breeds success. You have to surround yourself with the right people in order to get to that next level. You have to have discipline. That discipline is, believing in every day that you have to work at your craft. So no matter what your craft is, whether it's becoming a great drummer, you got to pound on that drums every single day in order to get better at it. So whether it's running in track, like you mentioned there, you have to have that discipline. So, which is tough. But again, if you have surround yourself with the right people, they will help encourage you. So you have different things to keep motivating you to get to that next level. So I think those are two big aspects to getting to that next level as what you want to achieve.
Nice. Kaylee asking the question, our lovely assistant Kaylee coming through on the clutch with the good questions. She didn't want to let us know she had those, but I see you, Kaylee. That was definitely a good one. Well, definitely now we closed all the mics, unfortunately, because we have a compressed amount of time. You heard Chuck. This is outside of his bedtime, so we don't want to keep Mr. Mound up. But before we let go, Mr. Mound, we have the winners. Ben, is that correct for the two raffle prizes?
I'm trying to see where Kaylee put them. All right, Kaylee. We're waiting.
All
Kaylee's
right.
going to be part of the run at Great Adventure too. She's going to run now that we know she's a track.
Man, see now if all y'all going to run, I might have to.
Jersey bucket is Linda. Linda, congratulations! You won the Jersey Shore bucket.
Linda, congratulations! That's awesome. Okay. And who we got for the second prize?
The shirts. Who's gonna win these double shirts?
Max. Shirts.
Congratulations! You won the double shirts.
Max, our buddy Max.
Oh, thank you, sir. Very nice of you.
There you go. Congratulations, Max. Yo, congratulations to all our winners. There you go, Max. And Linda, you won your prize pack.
I'm here.
Hey. Congratulations.
Thank you.
If you would like to support what we do here as far as the Ben and Jay show, just consider donating, being a sponsor, pushing this cause a little bit further. And you can do so by going to Access Services, and that's www.accessservices, all one word, .org/donate. And you can follow us on social media for encouraging words and posts as the days go by of these weeks. So what we normally do is we end the show with encouraging words. Ben, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start off first.
I would like to say, first of all, having autism is not a bad thing, and it doesn't characterize who we are. Everyone is unique and special, just like a rainbow. I would like to thank Chuck Mound for being on the show today. I want to thank my co-host, Jamel Owens. I would like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. I would like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for making this happen. You're amazing, God. God is the best. And let's be kind to each other this week, guys. For everything that's going on. I love you all. Shout out to 2 fans. Shout out to Jersey City, Johnson's Popcorn, Shirt Shack, and Schreider's Saltwater Taffy Place for donating. You guys are amazing.
There you go. And myself, I would like to thank everyone who tuned in, who continuously support us. I want to say thank you to Ben, his parents, Sandy and Glenn, because without them making their sacrifice to basically groom and help nourish this awesome individual, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't know what patience and love is like without being around people like Ben. So I just want to say thank you for that. Just thank you for God allowing me to be here and to breathe and to be able to give back to my community in such a manner. Definitely, God is definitely in my life, and he is doing the works within us. And just want to give you guys a little bit of hope, just like Chuck put in, and I hope everybody really paid attention to these jewels he was dropping today. You know, it's about inches. Life is about inches. At the end of the day, we have to get to that goal line. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do tomorrow and the next day? Chuck here, make sure he does it every single day, 100%. What are you doing? You know, keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing. You know, it's light at the end of the tunnel, or how we like to say it's goal. It's goal. It's good. It's good. So we're going to end on that. Chuck, thank you for being here. It was a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Likewise.
I hope I will never have to race you ever in my life, because you can still probably beat me.
My racing days are done. Racing days are done.
Yeah,
Except
okay.
For coming after Ben. I'm running against Ben.
And Chuck and Jamel forgot to mention this. You are part of the Ben and Jay Show family. And you're part of my family as well, too. You know, whoever was a friend of mine is now a friend. Yeah.
Hey, Ben, you made my day.
No, you made my day.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
the
Jay.
Ben and Jay Show. We are out. Have a great weekend. We love you guys.
Don't forget about next week, Jamel. We have the panel.
There we go. We got the panel. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more information for next week.